What we want to do now is model what our digestive system looks like and kind of what it does. So to do that, I've just got some saltine crackers, I have some vinegar, I do have a glass, and I put a coffee filter on the glass. I have 2 bags to help me think about our digestive system as separate compartments. So let's start with the mouth, the first compartment. For that, I'm just going to take a saltine cracker, I'm going to put it into our plastic bag and begin to crunch it up. Now this reminds me that in the mouth we do some chewing. All right, so our molars are working to grind that food up, our incisors bite it off into little pieces, and then we do some chewing. But there's more to the mouth than just chewing. We do add some saliva. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to put a little bit of water into the bag here for our mouth. And now I'm going to simulate chewing, but this time with some water. So that would be like saying we're adding saliva to the food. All right, but after we chew it, we don't leave it in our mouth. It's going to leave the mouth compartment and enter the next compartment. So to show that, I'm just going to cut a little corner off of the bag here, and I'll get our next compartment, which happens to be another bag that we're going to use to model our stomach. So I'm just pouring the contents from our mouth into our stomach. Now when we swallow, food leaves the mouth, it goes through the esophagus, and it does that by these contractions, muscular contractions down our esophagus. We don't have to work our food down. Our body takes care of that on its own. It just moves it along. It's called peristalsis. It moves the food along into our stomach now. So here's our stomach, and I'm going to add a little vinegar to simulate stomach acid. So we have some vinegar now, which simulates stomach acid in our stomach. Now, one of the differences between digestion in the stomach and the mouth is in the mouth, you can chew with your mouth open. But in the stomach, there's no air in the stomach. If air gets in the stomach, well then, the scientific name for it is eructation. We belch. All right, so I'm going to try to get most of the air out of the bag here. All right, so it looks more like that. And now I can illustrate the twisting, turning, grinding movements of the stomach, mixing, mashing that the stomach does to that food. And so it's going to sit in our stomach for quite a bit, and our stomach's going to work on that food for a long time. Generally, an hour or 2 if it's carbohydrates, maybe another hour or so, 3 or 4 hours if it's protein. All right, so now we've got our food mixed and mashed pretty well from the stomach. So what we're going to do is cut a little corner here, and the food is going to be transferred now to our small intestine and large intestine. So to show that, I just have a glass with a coffee filter, and I'm just going to pour the contents of the stomach here now into this coffee filter, like that. And when I do that, that's meant to represent some of the action of the intestines. What the intestines do is it filters out some things like water and nutrients, and we're going to capture that in our intestines. But this is going to end up being waste products. Things that do not get absorbed into our body will get eliminated as waste. So you can already see our intestines are doing some absorbing. They would continue to do that absorbing for several hours to try to get as much nutrition as possible from that food, and then eliminate as little waste as possible. That little model just helps us kind of walk through some of the main parts of the digestive system and what it does.